Some years ago, I'm not exactly sure how long ago it was, but somebody uh, uh, they wanted there was a church made of all skulls, a skull church basically. There was a lot of workers, and I forget exactly how it came about, but it was something that had to do with me basically. And it was a skull church, and they stacked and glued, or I think they might have used lead. I don't know exactly how they attached the skulls, but they built this church with had that had nothing but skulls and bones. It was what it was there was a lot of the workers. Like I said, if you go back in time and look at the things, I always guaranteed a proper burial with all my employees and all my people, and that's why you would have a burial ground for the employees, and then a burial ground for the slaves or whatever, another burial ground because. Sometimes the extended staff didn't have proper burial things, and basically, whatever, you know. But I actually had, even for my slaves or even for my assistants, basically proper burials and stuff like that. But some years ago, there was a lot of dead people. I forget if it was a mass grave or what, but they wanted to build this church. So I said, all right, go ahead. You can go ahead because, of course, they asked me because I'm the creator. I'm whatever. So they asked me, and I was like, yeah, go ahead. So they built this whole church all out of skulls and basically all out of skulls and bones, basically of dead people, pretty much. And I was like, yeah, well, it's one way to commemorate the dead. But it was this church. I don't know what happened to it, but it was in existence for quite a while. I don't know where it is. It was somewhere, and it was this church, and the walls were covered in skulls. It was all skulls everywhere you looked. Even the chandelier. There was even a chandelier of nothing but skulls, basically, of bones and stuff. It was a bone church. And so I was like, yeah, go ahead. So they took lots of pictures of it and all that other stuff. I mean, I had a lot of things done. I was like, yeah, go ahead. It's okay. It's fine. It's not sacrilegious. It's not bad. I don't mind. So, yeah. So I had a church that was all skulls, and I think they dedicated it to Lucifer. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it was Lucifer's church or something like that. But I mean, because my name, because I kept telling people, well, I'm not really God. I mean, I am the creator. I'm your creator, or a creator anyway, and I'm not really God, but I have a name. My name is Lucifer Star. So Lucifer Starline, or middle name Ellis or something like that. So yeah, whenever I would talk to people, I'd be like, well, it's actually like this, and yeah, I was also known as Lucifer White Star Line, or White Star or White because on the count of the white paint and stuff like that. So, like I said, I spent a lot of money getting perfectly white paint because I wanted white paint, and because it was something new and something good. Because uh, because you can't really get good colors. All the colors were like because paint's basically naturally brown or whatever. A lot of things are naturally brown, and so you'd get like drab or dull, like kind of off green, kind of brownish green, and like all these colors. They weren't exactly like good colors. They were kind of like dark and kind of like not very good colors. And like even the clothes, we didn't have really good colors. And I wanted color. I wanted to have like whites and I wanted colors that or clothes or cloth that wouldn't fade and wouldn't stain with sunlight and stuff like that. And I wanted proper looking things. And so they're having some problems with cotton and some other stuff. And plus a lot of the jackets and the clothes were all fuzzy. And I was like, well, it's fuzzy though. Is there anything we can do about that maybe? And so, like I say, on Lucifer Starline, Titanic, Leviathan, Lusitania, great big mining stuff. And I wanted all my employees and all my people to look really good and really look proper. I wanted like collars to be even. I wanted buttons that were the same roundness. I wanted unity not just in people but in and there's also unity in not just people but around the world, and stuff like that. But that was later on, the unity part. But I wanted all the uniforms to be so all the clothes were the same color blue or the same color of this, the same color of that. I wanted like a proper looking society and a proper looking workforce and army and everything else like that. So yeah, so my people were and I love you. I love them. They were so amazing. They work so hard. That's why I say 100 times like give me 25 of those old time people, those older people, back from like 1920s and in 19 in 1910 and stuff like that. They were great, monumental, like awesome people. They worked their fingers to the bone practically, and they worked really hard, and they built lots of stuff, and I love them very, very much because they're amazing. And yes, I was paying them, and yes, they're employees, blah blah blah, and maybe they didn't know who exactly I was. Maybe they thought I was God or just Lucifer Starlight or just some rich person. It doesn't really matter. They were amazing, and I love them. That's why, I had pictures and everything else, and they probably should have taken more pictures. And at some point in time, I was like, document everything, because like everyone was so amazing and so wonderful. So I was paying for all that documentation and everything like that, and all the aerial surveys and everything. And that's why, I'm epic 100 times over, basically. That's why all the photographs, and then along came JFK and Richard Nixon and John McCain, and they started like laughing at everything because all my people were documenting everything for me and everything like that. And I don't know, and some of them were like, well, maybe he's not, I don't really know, but basically, I mean, and he was having some really messed up fake ass pictures made, and so there's some people that were like laughing at it, and it's like, but that's like laughing at the dead or laughing at your ancestors. They worked really hard. They believed in something, and they were amazing. And they believed in a brighter and a better future, a brighter future. And it's like to all the little young punk pieces of shit. It's like, well, maybe you don't deserve a brighter future. Maybe you're not. Maybe you don't deserve to have a good future. Maybe you don't deserve to have a good heaven or a good whatever. I don't care, but I just care about them. What you call immigrants or slaves or whatever else like that. They worked really hard. They believed in something, and they loved my steamships. They loved my cities of Berlin. They loved all my cities. They thought it was amazing and epic and beautiful. And the steamships had gold railings and silver railings, gold silverware and silver silverware. And it was all epic and beautiful. And true, not all the pictures made it, and true, not all the records made it. But I mean, JFK and some other people were real pieces of shit. So whatever, some black people, Anyway, whatever, doesn't matter. I was epic. They were epic. We were all epic. So. Unlike, Bill Gates or Abraham Lincoln or Bill Gates, aka Zachary, a 17-hour teletype room standoff where he shot a girl through the pussy. Kind of not nice. Anyway, whatever. And then blamed it on a bunch of other people. Shot the teacher's boyfriend came to school to show off, and talk about blah, and him and his friend grabbed the gun and basically shot him and then shot her, raped her, and then shot her because she wasn't gonna lie for them, blah blah blah, or something like that. I don't know. It was a 17 to 40 hour standoff, so whatever. Hey, just like old shooting in the back, John McCain, who was raping girls in a what's it called, and it got so bad that some people would actually film themselves robbing a bank and actually shooting people. Some of those films of like bank robberies and stuff like that were actually, they were just laughing at me and laughing at everybody else, and they would actually film themselves walking up and shooting people, killing people. So, because they knew the films were for me. They knew the pictures were for me and all that kind of stuff. But, eventually they were cornered and found, and besides, because they filmed their own crimes, it wasn't exactly all that hard finding them and executing them. So, and then they were like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's like, what? You filmed it. You were laughing at the future. You're laughing at people, and people pick up these films and like, oh, look. Hey, isn't that you? Didn't you just kill 13 people? Instead of looking like real powerful people, they just looked like real losers. So, hey, whatever. They thought that JFK or Richard Nixon or some bad person was actually in command or something like that. And it's like, no. Lucifer Starlight, me. And all my courts and all my good people. And personally, I had a problem with 40-year-old men having sex with 16 and 12-year-old girls. It just didn't seem right, you know. And even 40-year-old men getting married to 16 or 12-year-old queens or whatever. It just didn't seem right, you see. And also Child Protective Services. And like I say, Germany was pretty powerful. Plus all those women and all those children that were raped or abused or stuff like that. They had something to say about that too. They didn't really particularly like, you know. So, you know, and I provided them with a library and all this and all that. And, you know, so hey, that's the way it is. Oh well, you know, I'm Lucifer Starline. Good luck with all that.